So here we begin with question 1. Please tell me which of the following expression is not true. I hope the board is visible to all of you. You would have tried it by now. Please go ahead. Which is the right answer? Which is not true?
D.
D.
I can hear it from Mehul, I reckon. Mehul, what is the right answer?
D for Delhi. Delhi.
D as in Delhi. D as in Delhi. D as in Delhi. And what's the mistake in this statement?
Sir, it is not true for all the temperatures. It is only true for.
Naturally, this is not true. This is not true. See, other than that, H plus is equal to OH minus is equal to root KW for a neutral solution is true. H plus more than OH minus and more than root KW in the process for an acidic solution is true. H plus less and OH minus more than the respective KW value for an alkaline solution is true. This is also true till this point. It's also true till this point. But this is true only at 298 Kelvin. I hope I'm being understood. 1D is not completely true, and we will want to move on. Moving on, next question. Question 2. Question 2. I wanted to, be moving at a very fast pace today. I'll want all of this to be done in, say, half an hour or so. And I did give you some time to look at these questions. So, very quickly, what do you reckon is the right answer here? pOH or pOH of water at
pOH will decrease.
A.
Naturally, pOH will decrease. Now, pOH will decrease, pH will also decrease, and that's exactly because you would know by now water becoming H plus and OH minus is an endothermic reaction. Now, this being endothermic, delta H positive, on increasing temperature, on heating, naturally the equilibrium will move forward. H plus will increase and OH minus will also increase. That's exactly because KW in general is increasing. So KW from a value say 10 to the power minus 14, if it is now becoming a value like 10 to the power minus 12, both of them would increase to a respective volume values of 10 to the power minus 6 molar each. I've done this in the class, and in the end, I'll get pH is equal to 6, pOH is equal to 6. So pOH will decrease, pH will decrease. 2 A is right. We're going to move on. I hope I'm being understood. I told you I wanted to be a little fast track today. You have a question or a doubt, you can note it down. You can ask me individually, but we'll want to go past all the questions in one go. 2A Agra, we'll want to move on. Question 3. Yes, please. Question 3. 50 ml of pH1 with 50 ml of pH2. What's the pH of the mixture? 50 ml of pH1 with 50 ml of pH2. Come on. Who has solved it?
Bombay.
I guess it's Mehul again. I want to just for more people.
1.26.
So we don't go by any particular formula. You find different formulae for different cases and works. We keep it simple. pH1 would mean H plus is equal to 10 to the power minus 1 molar. Naturally, pH2 would mean H plus is 10 to the power minus 2 molar. Now, what I have at hand is number of millimoles here is 50 plus into 10 to the power minus 1 plus 50 there into 10 to the power minus 2. Total number of millimoles upon total volume in ml. 50 plus 50, 100. So number of millimoles upon total volume in ml. And, I guess this is going to be 5 and this will be 0.5. So it will be 5.5 upon 100 molar. And I'll eventually get pH is equal to minus log of this. And minus log of 5.5 by 100 would look like 2 minus log 5.5. This is where this value 0.74 will come handy. 2 minus 0.74 naturally would give me 1.26 as the right answer. 3B Bombay looks good. 3B Bombay looks good. We'll want to move on. CB Bombay looks good. We'll want to move on. So far, so good, I believe. Question 4. Question 4. Which has the highest degree of ionization? It's obviously the simplest one. It's the simplest one which has the highest degree of ionization. Go along. Tell me which is the right answer.
Obviously, Delhi.
Delhi.
I mean, again, it had to be an easier pick. It had to be an easier pick. It's got to be Delhi because this certainly from Ostward's dilution law. Alpha, is a function of inverse root of concentration or, directly proportional to dilution. So if it's more diluted, it's more ionized. This is the case which is most diluted. 4D Delhi looks right. We'll want to move on. I mean, just something which I guess most of you would have done right. So far, a couple of people have been responding. I would want more people to participate, and I'm going to move at this pace only. So, question 5, please go ahead. 50 ml of 0.4 normal HCl, 50 ml of 0.2 normal
C.
NaCl. Simple as a slug.
C.
C.
50 ml of 0.4 normal, 50 ml of 0.2 normal. The last thing which I'll want any of my student to do is, no formula for different cases. It's as simple as it sounds. 50 ml of 0.4 normal HCl, and naturally the amount of H plus which you'll have, hope I am being understood. The amount of H plus which you'll have, this being monoprotic, would be 50 into 0.4, which is say 20 millimole, and the amount of OH minus here would be 50 into 0.2, which is say 10 millimole. At times I might end up doing a silly mistake here or there. Please correct me if I get it wrong in time. When I put it square bracket, I mean molarity, and this for the mixture has to be acid-base titrating, and H plus left is 10 millimole in naturally 100 ml. Now this is 0.1, and this will give me pH is equal to 1. I hope I've done it all right. See, Calcutta looks good.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And we'll move on. 5C Calcutta. Very routine, very simple question, The next one is something which I guess we have done in the class in the past. Happens to be a previous year JEE problem as well. It's a previous year JEE problem as well. So chalo, ये पुराना JEE का भी problem है. And I guess by now most of you would have got it right. Please go ahead.
Sir, option D.
Sir, Delhi.
Option D Delhi. चौधरी साहब बोल रहे मेरे को लग रहा है.
D.
Option D Delhi. I'll talk about D first because D is going to be the right answer, and I guess it's the common answer. HCl 75 into 1 by 5. This is exactly what I want all of you to do. It's 15 millimole. And NaOH or OH minus is 25 into 1 by 5, which is 5 millimole. So if this is H plus and if this is OH minus, naturally the difference would be H plus which is left, and the H plus left, which is 10 millimole in 100 ml, is exactly how I relate it to have a pH equal to 1. I mean, this is very routine. H plus 0.1 molar minus log of this is 1. We can also go one by one. For option A, tell me what is going to be the pH. For option A, what's going to be the pH?
7.
For option A, what's going to be the pH?
7.
Naturally, both are equal. And for a salt of strong acid, strong base, which is NaCl, there is no hydrolysis, so you'll have pH is equal to 7 for option A. Option B, please go ahead.
2.
2. Exactly. For B, the pH will be 2. I reckon in B, you have HCl 55 into 1 by 10, which is 5.5 millimole, minus NaOH, which is 4.5 millimole. You'll have 1 millimole left in 100 ml. So naturally, H plus mixture here, would be like 1 out of 100, which is 0.01, which will leave a pH 2 here. What's going to be the pH for, say, a mixture of the kind C?
12.9.
12.9 is spot on. I would rather want you people to do it of your own. ये 1 millimole है, वो 9 millimole है, so naturally 8 millimole बचेगा, 8 out of 100. I'm sure Chaudhary ji would have done it right. Anybody else getting the same answer? 12.9. Mehul, I want to hear from you.
हाँ सर 12.9 ही होगा.
Chalo, good to know. I would want to go with you. In this case, naturally D Delhi is the right answer, and we move on. 7 is again a case which I'm going to use at times. A very particularly important case. In the sense, I told you I'm going to use this result at times. Please tell me what is the right answer.
Sir, option C.
Calcutta.
Option C.
Calcutta.
Option
C,
C.
Calcutta.
Option C. Good to hear somebody, other than Mehul and Reyes also, participating. Option C. C looks good. pH 4.74, half of the molecules have dissociated. This is going to become a very, very common phenomena. At pH is equal to pKa, at pH is equal to pKa, I would have the first impression of this kind. Tell me if I'm being understood or not. This is how, right, for Ka. Now pH is equal to pK, pH is equal to pK, pH is equal to pK. Naturally, this is minus log of h plus this minus log of Ka. I know small p is taken as a function. If h plus is equal to Ka, if these two are equal, right away I'll believe these two are equal. And if these two are equal, this means acetic acid have dissociated. If these two are equal, this means it's gone by 50%. So at pH is equal to pK, alpha is equal to half, 50% ionization, 50% dissociation is something, which you'll want to have as a very handy result. I mean, some of you
Sir,
would ask
इसको
me some. Yes, please.
सर इसको बफर से भी तो निकाल सकते हैं pH equals pK plus log of salt over base.
I was exactly about to say this. I am very used to people saying me this. I'm very used to people saying with me this. And I was about to say this. This is something which a lot of people tell me. At pH is equal to pKa, log of this will be 0. And log of this will be 0 only if the ratio is equal to unity. Yes or no? I'm willing to hear from more of you. This is a very, very common response. कि हेंडरसन लगा करके बफर के हिसाब से करो कि pH is equal to pKa. It would look like as simple as it looks mathematically. pH is equal to pKa will mean this is 0, which will mean the ratio is equal to 1. But Prayat, please tell me, first of all, I would always want to confirm if I'm pronouncing your name all right. Please tell me, don't you think this has also come from this only? So this is like a more fundamental approach. No problem. You tell me
Yes.
that. I'm going to buy this. You tell me this. Most people will come with this particular response. You tell me this. I'm going to buy it. Not a problem. But this certainly comes from this. So this is like as simple as it looks. The two are equal means the ratio is equal to unity. We move on. At pH is equal to pK, half of the molecules are ionized. Alpha is equal to 0.5 has to be, I keep on saying, a common result now. Moving on. Question 8. Ionic hydrolysis किसका होता है दोस्त?
K2CO3, option D.
D.
D,
Who's
K2CO3.
who's the one responding? Right at the beginning. I would want to know your name.
Vansh.
Once by is it once Kaushik or once Gupta?
Vansh Gupta.
Once you're doing amazingly well, keep it up. ठीक है? अब एकदम बिल्कुल लेवल बढ़ाने का है. ये सबको समझ में आता है? ये सबको समझ में आता है?
हाँ
हाँ सर
यहाँ पे strong basic KOH और weak acid H2CO3. So I would rather never promote this approach, but so many times you'll want to know several aspects of understanding a situation. In the case where all the three are sorts of weak base and strong
और
acid,
वन
strong
आउट
acid
से ही
means
समझ में आ गया था कि D होगा.
yes. पहला बात तो ये. दूसरा बात इसका जो मैं केस तुम लोग को जनरली क्लास में बताता हूँ, which is सोडियम एसीटेट, वहां पर भी हम लोग देखते हैं केस ऑफ एनायनिक हाइड्रोलिसिस. प्लस you can confirm it whenever you want. 2K plus carbonate, because the salt is always a strong electrolyte, plus water becoming 2KOH, and KOH is a strong acid, a strong base, and H2CO3, where I'll not break H2CO3 because H2CO3 is a weak acid. You can confirm it whenever you want. See, I do confirm it. Every time I want, I confirm it. It will indeed look like a case of anionic hydrolysis. बच्चे लोग खाना बोलो.
हाँ सर
8 Delhi, we move on. Question 9. Yes, please, will tell me.
Sir, option D.
D सर
Question 9.
Study all of the above.
Again, I expect most of my students to solve problems of this kind. They are like scoring opportunities. Here HCl is 20 millimole. Ammonia, it has to be ammonia is a typing error here. And ammonia here is, ammonia is as good as ammonium hydroxide. I guess it's 40 millimole here. Here HCl I reckon is 5 millimole. Ammonia is 10 millimole. Here HCl I reckon is 30 millimole. Ammonia is 60 millimole. So in all the cases, if I get to understand a situation where you always have x of it and 2x of it, which would mean at equilibrium, you'll always have this as the limiting reagent, x of this left, and naturally the language which I speak in the class as well, x of this is formed. It's always going to be a case where it's a basic buffer. Yes or no? In all the cases, POH will be equal to PKB. In all the cases, pH will be equal to 14 minus PKB. So, I would not take it one by one. I would realize that a ratio which is the same in all the cases would have an implication that the same POH and the same pH would be for all of them. We'll want to move on. Question 9, I guess I'm being understood. Question 10. Question 10.
Bombay.
This is acetic acid. This is acetic acid. Again,
8.87.
8.87.
yes, please. B Bombay. What is the common answer, I guess?
8.87 B Bombay.
All right. Acetic acid with NaOH, and I reckon this is 20 millimole, and this is also 20 millimole. So this is a case of, tell me, what is the situation at hand? Both getting over.
Salt hydrolysis.
You have 20 millimole of salt form, and this is exactly how I introduced this topic. This is exactly how I introduced this topic, and this is exactly how this topic should be introduced. Every time it's being taught, any place, salt hydrolysis is the need of the hour only when only salt is there. And if it's a sort of strong base, weak acid, I'll go with my gut feeling, more than 7, 7 plus plus. See, this is how I proclaim it to be recalled, 7 plus plus. Now 7 plus half pKa, which is 4.74 here, and half log. You need to be a little calm while writing concentration, 20 millimole in 200 ml. So 20 by 200, you need to be a little calm while doing this. I do not know, please check if there's a small error and you get a different answer, In any case, what's the answer here? Please tell me.
सर कोई एरर नहीं है, एकदम ऐसे ही करना है, कोई एरर नहीं है।
नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ चेक करना। तो अगर मान लो कोई बच्चा गलती से यहाँ पे 200 की जगह 100 ले लेता है, या फिर कभी एक बार चेक भी करना है, ऑलवेज अ फन एक्टिविटी टू हैव। For an error, there is also an option. First of all, what is the answer which you get here?
8.87 Bombay.
Sir, B,
8.87.
8.87.
We move on. Salt hydrolysis. We move on to question 11. I don't remember, somebody was asking this, of late, either yesterday or today, about this particular question. Again, a very straightforward case of a buffer, as I could see. You want KC and
Option
HCl.
C. Option C, Calcutta.
Option C is, I reckon, the right answer. What amount of KCl needs to be added to HCl, to maintain a constant pH of 9? Well, if it's a weak acid and it's salt with a strong base, I reckon it's a case of an acidic buffer. Please respond with a yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Now, this is like pKa, 2 into 5 into 10 to the power minus 10. 5 into 10 to the power minus 10. बच्चे लोग बोलते रहो, मैंने इसमें एक इंटरेस्टिंग बात भी बताऊंगा. Minus log of 5 into 10 to the minus 10, है ना? अरे बोलो यार, which is 10 minus log 5 plus log of Cn minus upon HCl. And I'll not waste time. I'll write directly Cn minus as a certain volume V, which is required in the problem, into molarity 5 upon HCl, which is given to be how much? 10 ml of 2 molar. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you solve it sanely, and I guess you'll get VML as 2 ml. So Bombay, C Calcutta looks the right answer. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो.
हाँ सर.
बट मैं तुमको बता रहा हूं, अगर ये प्रॉब्लम होता, फाइंड द वॉल्यूम ऑफ 5 molar barium cyanide. This is going to be an interesting thing. ये अभी नहीं पूछा इस क्वेश्चन में तो अच्छा बात है. इस प्रॉब्लम को थोड़ा सा ट्रिकी बनाने के लिए ना, they could have taken barium cyanide. Trust me. You get very used to log of salt by base, salt by acid. But instead of salt by acid, it's basically the conjugate base by acid. So do you realize, had it been barium cyanide, each giving 2 Cl minus, and the answer in that case would have been 1 ml? Eventually, it's about the concentration of cyanide. I just felt like, doing a little value addition in this problem. And trust me, it should be realized that a small little change in the problem, you can take a note of it. I think you're understanding me. It's been kept very simple so far. Volume minimal into molarity is number of millimoles. Ratio is in terms of millimoles. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो. I hope you have not lost me. There is a lot of
सर
whiteness.
ये इसमें वॉल्यूम 1 ml इसलिए होगा क्योंकि 2 CN है, CN2 है ना, इसलिए ना बस.
Obviously, 2 Cl minus है.
हाँ बस, और कुछ नहीं. वही
यहाँ पर अगर साइनाइड का कंसेंट्रेशन, ये मान लो 2 ml तुम्हारा क्यों आ रहा है? बिकॉज यू वांट साइनाइड टू बी 10 मिलीमोल. यस और नो? तो ये 10 मिलीमोल यहाँ से 5/2 आता है. पर यहाँ तो 1 ml चाहिए होगा ना, because 5 molar BaCN2 would give you 2 times Cl minus. So 5 molar BaCN2 in solution would be like 10 molar Cl minus. Yes or no?
बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल समझ गया.
Take a note of it. It's not like it's going to be very simple every time, and it's simple so far. 12.
Amsterdam.
A.
A, option A.
Naturally, Amsterdam is absolutely wrong. A, Agra is right. I would never want this habit to grow in you. ठीक है? Is it A, Agra? Is it A,
Yes,
Agra?
sir. Yes, sir.
And was it Mehul saying Amsterdam?
हाँ सर.
हाँ? क्या यार ऐसे नहीं बोलते यार. मेरा कभी आज तक कभी मेरा वीजा भी नहीं बना है. मैं कभी यार ऊबर भी ना ब्रॉड. तो अच्छा नहीं लगता है सब सुन करके यार. मतलब आगरा, बॉम्बे, कलकत्ता, दिल्ली रह. ये ना एक पर्टिकुलर कारण है. ये 10 मिलीमोल बचता है और ये 10 मिलीमोल बनता है. क्या 10 मिलीमोल बनता है? इसका पोटेशियम फॉर्मेट. ये कैलकुलेशन को भी इजी करता है और मैं बताता हूँ बाद में कि ये इससे बफर भी बेस्ट बनता है. Anyway, there's going to be an acidic buffer with pH is equal to pKa plus log of 10/10, which will even out. And naturally, pH is equal to pKa is 4 minus log 1.8. I think 4 minus log 1.8 could be written as 5 minus log 18.
Sir, that's best.
3.7. Log 18 is given exactly for this reason. Log 18 is given exactly for this reason. I think I've simplified it completely for you. We'll want to move on to question 13. Fair enough? Question 13.
Bombay?
Yes, sir, Bombay.
ये भी पुराना जेई का प्रॉब्लम है. ये पुराना जेई का प्रॉब्लम है और उस समय का प्रॉब्लम है जिस समय जेई सब्जेक्टिव होता था. Which was the quality, classical जेई questions. सबसे पहले देखो ये बफर बेसिक है. तो बेसिक बफर है मतलब इनको ये 8.26 से नहीं हमको स्टार्ट करना होगा इसका. POH से which will be like 5.74 I reckon. POH is equal to PKB plus log of NH4 plus upon, and I want to play it very safely. I want to play it very safely. I want to go by the basic formula. It's always good that in the real exam, you go by the rules of the game. So I would go by the rules of the game. I know it's a basic buffer. This is the Mother-Henderson equation. I know pH plus POH is equal to 14. So I'll use that to get POH from the pH value given. I also know that, the pKa given here is for the conjugate acid. And another result at hand is pKa plus pKb for a pair of conjugate acid bases is 14. So, I'll keep it simple. I'll go by the rules as I told you. I'll take this pKa for ammonia ka conjugate acid to find the pKb, which is like 4.74 in this case, plus log of NH4 plus upon NH4OH. And this I reckon with NH4OH given as 5 millimole, 5 millimole. This is 1, so which will mean this is 10 times, will give you ammonium is equal to 50 millimole. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And trust me, A Agra is a very common mistake. I hope you people did not say A. You said B. Or did you say A?
No, sir, Bombay only.
Sir,
Just
Bombay,
like the
Bombay.
BSc and to each other.
You want to put a cross here. It's a very common mistake. 50 millimole is not the right answer because it's not ammonium chloride or a salt having 1 NH4 plus. It's a salt having 2 NH4. Ammonium sulfates, all of NH4 plus coming from ammonium sulfate, and you'll need 25 millimole of this. Very routine. 1 से 2 आ रहा है, 2 के लिए 1 चाहिए, सस्ती के लिए 25 चाहिए. B Bombay is the right answer. We move on to question 14. So far so good, I believe. बच्चे लोग खाना बोलो. I'll also want to know if somebody has got all right. Mehul, I have developed a habit of looking at your responses and posting a thumbs up activity in the group. अभी तक सभी right है ना?
हाँ, अभी तक सर.
So I hope that is the case with a few more people. Acetic acid with
That is
any
14
OH
D
and your
Delhi.
Sir,
Delhi?
D.
Yes, sir.
हाँ ये कौन है लास्ट में कौन बोला लास्ट में अलग आवाज आ रहा है so I would want to know कौन बोला लास्ट में भी मेरे को वंश का मेहुल का चौधरी जी का और भी एक दो का आवाज समझ में आ रहा है there was one more student responding would want to know who he or she is. 1/3 stage of neutralization of acetic acid. Now 1/3 stage का मतलब क्या होता है कि इसका 1/3 चला गया और अगर इसका 1/3 चला गया मतलब 2/3 बचा है. I mean 1/3 न्यूट्रलाइज कर रहा है मतलब एनीवेज ड्रॉप बाय ड्रॉप डाल रहे हैं या ग्रेजुअली डाल रहे हैं. इसका 1/3 चला गया है. ये मेरे को ना ये सबसे 0.1 मोलर से कोई काम नहीं पड़ेगा. ये सबसे कोई काम नहीं पड़ेगा मेरे को. ये 0.1 की जगह 0.2 भी होता है, ये 0.5 भी होता है ना, इससे भी फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि दोनों कंसंट्रेशन सेम है. दोनों कंसंट्रेशन सेम होते हैं डिफरेंट होता है, वॉल्यूम अलग अलग लगता है, उसको गोली मारो. 1/3 का मतलब है जितना था उसका 1/3 खत्म हो गया, 2/3 बचा है. और अगर इसका 1/3 खत्म हो गया तो इसका जो भी वैल्यू होगा उसके कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग 1/3 फॉर्म्ड होगा. And I write pH is equal to pKa plus log of salt by acid will be 1/3 upon 2/3, which will be eventually 1/2. I mean, this is obviously coming as 1/3 upon 2/3, which I'm writing directly as 1/2. Or want people to respond to this. And 2/3 stage would mean it has got over by 2/3, which is 1/3 is left. And if 1/3 is left and 2/3 is formed, if 1/3 is left and 2/3 is formed, then I would believe the value of pH is equal to pKa plus log of 2/3 upon 1/3, which is log 2. Now, if this is one particular pH, and if this is one particular pH, and if this is 1 and this is 2, they want a difference between 1/3 and 2/3. So what I need is 1 minus 2. Now 1 minus 2 naturally will give me pK evening out. Log half minus log 2. Log half minus log 2 has to be minus 2 log 2. I guess I'm being understood. D Delhi is the right answer. 14 D Delhi is the right answer, and we'll move on. तो चलो खाना बोलो.
हाँ, sir.
15. Aniline is behaving as a weak base. 0.1 molar 50 ml of aniline was mixed with 0.1 molar of 25 ml HCl. pH of the resulting solution is 8. Then the pH of the 0.01 molar solution aniline chloride is. See, what I can always do is
Or option C, Calcutta.
Option C, Calcutta. You'll want to hold
C.
it for a while. अच्छा बोल दो आंसर बोल दो. C बोल रहे हो? C right है? Should I go with C?
हाँ सर.
चलो भाई. तो दो लोग अच्छा स्टूडेंट 2-3 लोग बोल दिया, मैं मान लिया C है. चलो But I would want to explain this first of all. If this is aniline, and if this is the reaction forming anilinium chloride, all of this would never scare you. This is something you're going to be good with time. Anilinium chloride is a name which will become very common with time, and this is nothing but acid and base forming salt. And to begin with, aniline here being 5 millimole and HCl here being 2.5 millimole is about presenting a situation where naturally the limiting reagent is HCl. This will be 2.5 millimole left, and this will be 2.5 millimole formed. So if this is a particular setup of a basic buffer, I believe POH will be equal to PKB, and naturally log 2.5 will get cancelled out. They tell you the pH is equal to 8. And if the pH is equal to 8, the pH must have been 6. So if 6 is the PKB, it's basically the result I have from the first statement. Now, for the pH of 0.01 molar solution of anilinium chloride, naturally for the second part of the problem, I'll want to go to salt hydrolysis. And I'll simply go with the result in salt hydrolysis. It tells me if it's a salt of strong acid, weak base, strong acid, minus 7 minus half pKb minus half log C. So this is a bit of work which I need to do. This is certainly going to be 7 minus half. I've got the pKb as 6, and minus half log C in this case will be 0.01 given in the problem. I hope you're getting B Bombay as the right answer, and we'll want to move on. Hope I'm being understood. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो. I take it for a yes. Question 16. Benzoic acid with NaOH. Benzoic acid with NaOH. What's the right time right now? Somebody will want to tell me. I don't want to eat up the other classes this time.
Sir, option C, Calcutta.
It's 2 millimole. What's the right time right now?
सर 9:47 हो गया सर.
ठीक है, और 10 मिनट चलेगा. ये 2 मिलीमोल है, पीके 4.2 है, टाइटेट विद 0.NaOH 50 ml NaOH डालने से कितना होगा? ये बेंजोइक एसिड है जो तुम्हारा है 2 मिलीमोल. इसमें डाला NaOH तो बना सोडियम बेंजोएट. नेचुरली ये डाला 50 ml ऑफ 0.02 मोलर मतलब 1 मिलीमोल. तो जब 1 मिलीमोल इसके अंदर में डाला तो नेचुरली ये 1 मिलीमोल बचा, ये खत्म हो गया, ये 1 मिलीमोल बना. So which is as good as weak acid, salt with a strong base. It's going to be a buffer. pH is equal to pKa, which is 4.2. When you add 100 ml, it's going to be the second part of the problem where you had 100 ml, and naturally the result this time is 2 millimole of this. With 2 millimole of this, it's going to be a case of salt hydrolysis where pH would be equal to 7 plus half pKa, which I reckon is 4.2 plus half. Now log of C has to be again done with some calmness. This is going to be 2. This is going to be 2 millimole in 100 plus 100, 200 ml. Again, it's a calculation which you can easily take care of. This will be like 7 plus 2.1, which is 9.1, and this will be minus of 1. Is C the right answer?
Yes sir.
Yes, sir.
We move on. Question 17. Question 17. A buffer contains 1 mole of ammonium sulfate and 1 mole of ammonium hydroxide. The pH of the solution would be. Now, yet again, when it comes
Option
to
D, Delhi.
is this the common answer? Is this the common answer? I mean, you'll want to be very cautious. The ammonium sulfate का 1 mole से लेकिन 2 NH4 plus आएगा. So if this is NH4 plus, I'll write this 2 and this is 1. I hope I'm being understood. Which is almost 5.3. And don't rush into giving C as the right answer because you want pH. Which is almost 8.7. Delhi. So once you're doing a good job so far, yes, rest of you're also understanding me. We'll move on to question 18. How many kinds of buffer? There's something which I do with a lot of intent when I'm teaching an amphiprotic solution or I'm talking about polyprotic titration. And naturally, what's the common answer here?
Sir, option A3.
Option A.
Naturally, H3PO4. I'll want to use this part of the board. H3PO4 becoming H plus plus. H2PO4 minus, which becomes H plus plus. HPO4 minus minus, which naturally will become H plus plus. PO4 3 minus, and I end up telling you add an alkali to HCPO4, and this with this as the corresponding mixture will be like buffer one. So this will be the acid and the conjugate base. And then this with this would form H2PO4 minus and HPO4 minus minus would be buffer 2. And then this and this would be like buffer 3. I'm certainly going to elaborate in polyprotic titration, but this is something which you'll want to buy on the face value. Is Aniket there in the class? Aniket, Sanvi, I'm sorry, I've not been able to see individual. Nuska, Mehul, Pratyus, Rafi, Sanvi, Samraj, Treyosi, Vanya. I hope you all can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Half of the people have
Yes,
already
sir.
attended this class. So, question 19. Won't take long. Question 19. The ratio of dissociation constants of two weak acids HA and HB is 4. At what molar concentration the acids will have the same pH? Now, naturally, they'll have the same pH. They'll have the same pH. They'll have the same pH when they'll have the same H plus. And same H plus, which is basically C alpha, I reckon, equals for HA and HB. If CHA alpha HA is equal to CHB alpha HB, you want the molar concentrations, which is CHA upon CHB, which certainly will be the ratio of alpha HB upon alpha HA. So if the ratio of dissociation constants, oh my God, I wanted it in terms of K rather. I'm sorry, I'm going to redo this one more time. So instead of C alpha, I'll do in terms of root K into C. Yes or no? Root Ka into C. So root K into C, same H plus would mean I'll want to have root over of K of HA into C of HA equal to root over of K of HB into C of HB. Yes or no? फर्क तो नहीं पड़ रहा है, आंसर अभी भी वही आएगा मेरे को लग रहा है, but I just wanted to be clinically correct. So the ratio of concentrations, which are CHA upon CHB, would again be KHB upon KHA. It doesn't affect the final answer, which is 1:4. 0.25, I reckon, is the right answer. But I just wanted to be a little more clinical. Instead of concentration alpha, it's concentration and K. Somebody has having some trouble with my mic, cannot answer. I got one question partly wrong, but rest are right. Good to hear from you, Aniket. Good job, Aniket. Let's move on. Question 20. 20 is also a small little nice problem, which I remember as an old previous year JEE problem only. Aspirin का ना structure सीख जाओगे.
Delhi.
12 तक जाते जाते ना एस्पिरिन का
Delhi.
स्ट्रक्चर सीख जाओगे. एस्पिरिन का क्या आधा सारा एंटीबायोटिक का दवा का नाम मैं बता दूंगा, 6 फॉर्मूला बता दूंगा. I would want some more people to respond. PK 3.5 है. Gastric juice is acidic because of HCl in the peptic juice. Small intestine, the medium is alkaline. Yes, please. Now you can tell me what's the right answer.
Sir,
सर
D
डी
Delhi.
होगा क्योंकि
Delhi. Delhi.
एक तो
Sir,
मैंने
common
स्ट्रक्चर
and
मारेगा.
effective वजह से anionize रहेगा.
So what's the common answer? Is it
D Delhi.
D Delhi or
Yes, sir.
D Delhi?
D Delhi.
D Delhi? Is D Delhi the right answer? Although I've given you the structure of aspirin out here, which is upstairs salicylic acid, you're going to relate to this, in more details in class 12. It's going to be a part of your curriculum. But anything would certainly act as an acid more effectively if the external medium is alkaline. So if I take aspirin as suppose HAS as a general weak acid, naturally it will anionize more if the medium is alkaline. In acidic medium, stomach, the conditions are more acidic because the pH value is indicating more acidic conditions than the pK value. So in this stomach, it's going to have more H plus common N effect. It will ionize less. In small intestine, naturally it will ionize more. So I don't want to unnecessarily, elaborate something which is so basically and fundamentally understood. D Delhi is indeed the right answer. We'll move on to question 21. Yes, please. Again, a very
Bombay.
routine question. I just wanted to have, yes, please. Yes, please.
So B Bombay.
B Bombay, B Bombay. A strong acid would naturally have the least pH. NaCl का होगा 7. इसके लिए I reckon it's more than 7 because it's a case of strong base weak acid. And इसके लिए I reckon it's less than 7 because it's a case of strong acid and weak base. I think this is self-explanatory. And you'll want at times to solve a problem as fundamentally as I've done in this case. We'll move on to question 22. The pH on mixing 10 ml of 10 to the power minus 1 molar HCl and 10 ml of 10 to the power minus 1 normal NaOH. No prize for this
Option
question.
C.
Yes, the Calcutta neutrality. NaCl will have no salt hydrolysis. 23. Equal concentration of X minus LHX. The pH of the buffer is? Yes, please.
A Agra.
A.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing you want to be conscious of that they have given you the KB there. So, if the KB for X minus, if the KB for X minus is 10 to the power minus 10, you'll want to believe the Ka for HX
10
is
per
going to be
minus.
10 to the power minus 4. So, pK is 4 here, pK is 4 here, the two are equal. So, pH is equal to 4 and A is the right answer. We move on. I hope you're happy with this. 24. 24 is something which every student should know by now. 10 to the power minus 6 molar HCl diluted 10 to the power minus 8 will have a value
6.95.
6.95.
6.95. This is as good as knowing 10 to the power minus 8 molar HCl will have a pH 6.95. Less than 7. 25, the last one, is again a previous year JEE problem. 25, the last one, is again a previous year JEE problem. I guess you would have attempted it as well.
Option C.
एक तो यहाँ पर ना बी और सी में कंफ्यूजन हो ही सकता है बिकॉज बी
B
और सी
C
दोनों
दोनों
सेम
सेम ही है.
यहाँ पे टाइपिंग एरर है. ठीक है, यहाँ पे टाइपिंग एरर है. तो यहाँ बी और सी में तुम लोग कैसे बी या सी बता पा रहे हो, वो भी एक चैलेंज है. सपोज इसको डिस्क्रिमिनेट करने के लिए मैं बी को 10 टू द पावर 10 कर देता हूँ प्लस. एंड नाउ टेल मी दिस इज करेक्ट, बी और सी.
C.
यस प्लीज.
शायद Calcutta.
एनीवन विद अ डिफरेंट आंसर वंस?
But I think it's B Bombay.
Now this is again, it's troubling you. Take a note of it. It's going to be B Bombay. I don't know how it's going to be solved on different sources, but I keep it simple. If K is 10 to the power minus 4 for a weak acid, I'll keep it very simple. I'll write Ka as H plus A minus upon HA and the corresponding value. When it's equilibrium constant for its reaction with a strong base, don't you think it's about HA reacting with BOH, which I want to write in this ionic form, producing Ba, which is obviously a strong electrolyte, and water. So what should be the equilibrium constant for this particular case? Shouldn't it be B plus A minus? I would again want to avoid the pain of writing B 2 times. To be very correct, B would naturally even out. And if I even out B plus on either side, it would be like A minus. Yes or no? I don't write water anywhere upon HA and OH minus. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो. बच्चे लोग हाँ ना बोलो. और मैं ना एक चीज तुम लोग को सिखाता हूँ, बताता हूँ. ये जो पर्टिकुलर केस है ना, this would eventually look like the reverse of for which you remember you had KH as Kw upon Ka. You remember this? Although it can be independently proved, that its Kc would be equal to Ka by Kw, because yet again, if you multiply Kc and Kw, or if you take Ka upon Kc, suppose if you take Ka upon Kc, you do the neutral, you take Ka upon Kc and you'll get Kw. K upon Kc would mean you'll want to reverse this. A minus will be cancelled, H will be cancelled, H plus plus minus will be Kw. So I can do it individually as well. But it's an insight which I wanted to give you, because when I did salt hydrolysis, I did tell you for the salt of a weak acid strong base, this is the general formula you want to arrive at. And right away, this can look like the reverse of salt hydrolysis involving a weak acid, for which KH was Kw by Ka. So Kc will be Ka by Kw, which is 10 to the power minus 4 by 10 to the power minus 14, which is 10 to the power plus 10. Okay. So correct a mistake if there is a mistake. Correct a mistake if there is a mistake. I'm so happy somebody entering the meeting only to bid me goodbye, good night. I would hesitate to name
सर
you.
एक बार जाने से पहले 15 का आंसर वापस से बता देंगे क्या? मैं एक बार के लिए स्किप कर दिया था, 15 का आंसर नहीं देख पाया।
Is it 15 or 16?
15 15 एनालाइन
15 एनिलीन को एनिलाइन बोलते हैं। एनिलीन का आंसर क्या था? इसका आंसर मैं भूल गया हूँ, मेरे को लगा 5 था। 5 था क्या?
5 ही था ना बस। हाँ 5 मेरा भी 5 ही आया। C5।
चलो ठीक है। Stay happy, stay healthy. Good night, everyone. See you then. Bye bye. Take care of your health. Stay out of trouble. And wish you all happy Holi. Happy Holi. मिलते हैं दोस्त. Bye bye.